Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Travel Webcast webinar, Festivals in Ireland, What You Need to Know, brought to you by Tourism Ireland and Baxter Media. Speaking first today is Roshan Collins from Tourism Ireland. Hi, Roshan, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How is everybody?
Doing great, thanks. So just before we get started, I'd like to let all the viewers know that if you have any questions during this webinar, just type them into the Q&A box found in your Zoom toolbar or the chat box, and those questions will be answered after the presentation has finished. Also, if you have any problems hearing or seeing the presentation, just type a message into the chat box and I'll do my best to assist you. Okay, Roshan, since you're already sharing your screen, you can start whenever you're ready.
Hi everybody, thanks so much for joining us today. So this is Roisin from Tourism Ireland, and I'm also joined by my colleague Sandra, who will be joining us on a little later. But first of all, I'm going to go through the agenda for what you expect to hear from us today. So I'm going to talk about why Ireland, why you need to plug this to your travel agents, the different brand experiences that you can find in Ireland. Then the Flackhill, West Cork Food Festival and Derry Halloween will also speak, and then we'll have some questions and answers at the very end. So today's speakers are Michelle Whelan from Flackhill. Then we have Fiona Field and Helen Collins from Taste of West Cork. We have Aisling and Liz from Derry Halloween, and then you can see their little logos at the bottom there. Today as well, for joining us, if you stay true and watch the whole webinar, you're in with the chance to win a Waterford Crystal Vase. So stay with us. Now I'm just going to talk about our new global campaign. So this year we launched a new campaign. It's our first one in 7 years. And the whole purpose of this campaign is to fill your heart with Ireland. We just really wanted to highlight to the world why Ireland is such a fantastic destination to visit, and why visiting here is a really truly authentic and immersive experience. And you can see there from the video, it really is a great place to see. There's lots of different experiences. And because we're such a small island, we really do pack a punch. So, one day you can be on the coast, the next day, or even later that day, you can be in a city. It's a great way to do a lot of things in a very short period of time. And that's why we think you should really fill your heart with Ireland. As I said, it's a great way to restore and enhance your lust for life. And it's a great, I think, trip for anybody, no matter what age you are. So now I'm going to pass you on to Sandra, who's just going to touch on the different gateways that are available from Canada to Ireland.
Yes, so it has never been easier to get to Ireland from Canada. We do have direct air access seasonally from Vancouver, June through October. That was formerly on Air Canada Rouge. It's now on Mainline, and so we're excited about that little upgrade. We also have direct seasonal service from Montreal. That's to be year-round, coming in 2020 with Aer Lingus. And we have direct seasonal service from Toronto into the west coast of Ireland, into Shannon Airport. We do have direct year-round service into Dublin Airport from Toronto, and a new route from Hamilton with Norwegian. And then also we're excited to share the new services that we have running this year, Calgary to Dublin with WestJet and Halifax to Dublin as well. And so it's never been easier to get there from Canada.
Perfect, thanks so much, Sandra. So now I'm just going to continue on to talk about the different festivals and events. So obviously today's webinar is all about festivals. And I think the great thing about coming to Ireland is we have a temperate climate. We're open 365 days a year. So it really is great to visit no matter what time of the year it is. Just to kind of touch on the different experiences you can have in Ireland, and I'm going to talk through this through a map as well in a minute. But Ireland's ancient east, we have over 5,000 years of history. So I think we're very lucky that we've experienced so many different things. A lot of other countries are quite young compared to us. So it's a really great way to look back in time and to experience your heritage. In addition to that, then on the north coast of Ireland, we have the Causeway Coastal route. It's a really stunning route to take, and it's definitely very different to anything else that you've experienced before. And we've a lot of really great foodie destinations in Northern Ireland as well, so definitely worth visiting. And then the Wild Atlantic Way, this is over 2,500 kilometres of coastal route on the west coast of Ireland. And it really is, again, a beautiful way to see the west coast. But in addition to this, there's lots of little towns and urban centres along the west coast of Ireland, which makes it easy to see something scenic. And then, as I said, go and experience a trad session or a foodie experience all in the space of a few hours. And then obviously Dublin. So Sandra and I are both from Dublin, so we have to mention it. But Dublin as well is a really great way to to experience the city, obviously Dublin Airport is in Dublin. It's the capital city and it's very easy to do by foot. And then we're very lucky too that, you know, a lot of really cool productions have happened in Ireland, which is great for screen tourism. So you can visit Skellig Michael, or you can go up to Northern Ireland and see where Game of Thrones was filmed too. So again, really great immersive experiences that will fill your heart. So as I said there, this is just a map to give you an idea of the coastal routes that you can do. So there's the Causeway Coastal Route on the north part of the island. Then on the west coast, as I said, 2,500 kilometers of coastal route that you can experience. And then on the east, we have Ireland's ancient east, and we also have Dublin. So as I said before, we are a temperate climate, and it really is a great time to visit no matter what time of the year it is. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to pass you on to Michelle from Fleadh, who's going to give us an overview of the Fleadh Festival. So again, this is a really great musical festival that happens. It's happening in August this year, and you know, it's something immersive and truly unique to Ireland and very authentic. So Michelle, now if you want to share your screen, we should be able to see your overview.
Hi everyone, I'm Michelle Whelan from Boyne Valley Tourism and speaking about Fleadh today. So you're very welcome to my presentation. This is the second year of the Fleadh taking place in Drogheda. It's a beautiful heritage town in the Boyne Valley. The event is put on by a combination of very hard work by Louth County Council and a huge voluntary effort by the Fleadh Executive Committee. This is the location, as Roisin pointed out already. It's within Ireland's ancient east, so very close to Dublin, so plenty of access. I think I've lost my screen there, have I?
Okay. I couldn't actually see your screen, so I've just pulled it up on mine.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. Okay, so you can see there's plenty of access there that Sandra pointed out from Dublin Airport. It's only 30 minutes up to Drogheda and about an hour and a half from Belfast Airport to Drogheda. It's, as I said, it's within Ireland's ancient east, and just 10 minutes out from Drogheda town, you've got Newgrange, which is 5,000 years old, which is exactly what Ireland's ancient east is all about, and it's one of the world heritage sites, one of three on the island of Ireland. So moving on, it's the largest Irish music and dance festival in the world. So this slide gives you an idea of the atmosphere around Fleadh and the number of people that gather. It draws huge crowds, and because of its location close to Dublin, we had 500,000 people at the event last year. So we're really looking forward to it this year. It's a great opportunity to meet local people and learn about Irish culture with music and dance on every corner of every street. So the Fleadh features music on every street, as you can see there. The retailers and traders welcome musicians, but they put out seats to encourage people to play outside their premises. So it just creates a huge atmosphere. There's really young children playing, there's older generations, so all ages, and the atmosphere is electric. There's lots of music competitions taking place, dancing competitions, and the public are welcomed in to watch it. There's the Cayley Bands competition, which is a really good one, and there's lots of sessions in each of the traditional pubs taking place. So it's a unique celebration of Irish culture. There's lots of qualifying competitions, and some taking place in Canada. It certainly appeals to the diaspora, and a lot of people combine a trip to Ireland with the Fleadh. So if they've dreamt of coming to Ireland, they'll take in a few days of the Fleadh while they're here. Some of the events are music at the gate, which I'll show you in a minute, and then there's lots of free events, outdoor theatre, historical walks and tours, and food experiences. So on the next slide, then you'll see we have some of the acts there are Hot House Flowers, that's Liam O'Malley on the left, and Zoe Conway, who's a famous Irish fiddle player, on the right. You've got the music at the gate. The gate is St. Lawrence's Gate and an icon for Drogheda. It's part of the town walls and dates to the 13th century, so it gives you a flavour of how historical Drogheda is. We also, because it's so historic, we have lots of tours taking place. So you can get a walking tour of the town during the festival every day. And there's also tours to the Boyne Valley, to sites outside of Drogheda during the week, which take place every day, and the bus is organised. So you don't have to think about it too much. You just pay your fee and get on the bus. And there's sites to see like Brina Boneyar and Newgrange, or the Battle of the Boyne, and Beaulieu House, Monaster Voice, Mountain Lane, Seamus End Centre. There's also the Taste of Flash, but the Boyne Valley is not only rich in heritage landscape, but it also has great food. We've lots of really good food producers, and they're part of a group called Discover Boyne Valley Flavours, and host a series of events throughout the year. So they'll be at the Flash showcasing food. The Boyne Valley is the largest concentration of world-class heritage sites, and this is a full picture of St. Lawrence's Gate. So there's plenty to see around Drogheda, like the Shrine to St. Oliver Plunkett, and Beaulieu House and Highlands Gallery. We have, in the next slide, it just shows the Boyne Valley Drive, which links up each of the sites across the Boyne Valley. So you can go and see the largest Anglo-Norman castle in Trim, which is only about half an hour from Drogheda. You can also see the Hill of Tara, where the High Kings ruled Ireland, which is a well-known site. There's high crosses at Kells and at Monaster Voice, and Lochrook Cairns are 5,000 years old megalithic tomb, where you can get a tour of that. But probably the site that you know very well or have heard of is Newgrange, which is the World Heritage Site. And on one day of every year, on the 21st of December, in the winter solstice, the sun shines through the chamber and illuminates the tomb. So it's quite amazing that it's still happening 5,000 years later, and that the farmers of that time could align the monument to the sun. So it's a fantastic tour, and you can see Newgrange and Nouth is another site within the Brina Boneyar complex. And then within Drogheda, you've got a number of sites. Highlands Gallery is the Drogheda Franciscan Church. It's a lovely old church which has been carefully preserved and now houses the municipal art collection, as well as some of the heirlooms like the sword and mace, which was presented to Drogheda by King William III after the Battle of the Boyne in 1690. There's also Millmount Museum, which towers over the town. It's a motte and bailey, which was built shortly after Hugh de Lacy was granted the Kingdom of Meath in 1172, so it's 12th century. And this fortification, this Martello Tower, is from the 1800s and replaced the earlier motte and bailey. The museum has lots of stuff like folk life and history, geology, military history in it. And then the Battle of the Boyne site is a well-known site. It's 1690, the battle was fought between King William and King James, and 60,000 troops fought in that battle. It was the largest assembly of troops in Ireland. So finally, just to say, we don't have our programme of events ready yet, but it will be ready in the next few weeks, and we can email it to you. But, thanks for listening, and enjoy the rest of the presentation.
Perfect. Thanks so much for that, Michelle, for that great overview. Now I'm going to introduce you to Helen and Fiona from A Taste of West Cork Food Festival. So if you just want to share your screen, perfect, and you can take it away there, Helen.
Hello, everybody, from a beautifully sunny evening in wonderful West Cork. I'm Helen Collins. I'm the chairperson of A Taste of West Cork. I'm joined here by our manager, Fiona Field. I was born and raised in this incredible, iconic part of Ireland called West Cork. We consider it quite the centre of the universe. It's a small little area, about 80 miles across, with a population of about 86,000 people, over 44 towns and villages, which we work with A Taste of West Cork throughout the festival. There are 100 islands out in the bay, about 8 of them now inhabited, a stunning landscape of mountains and dramatic headlands. bays, inlets, and the mighty Atlantic Ocean. It is home to the stunning Brow Hill, which featured largely in the new Star Wars, and you're now looking at the spectacular and mighty Fastnet Rock, Carrig Aner, the Lonely Rock, Ireland's teardrop, the last sight of Ireland for the emigrant bound for America or for Canada, our nearest point to the Americas. We are an open seafaring people, staunch survivors, highly creative and innovative. We live in an amazing and unique place. Over 75% of Ireland's food producers, artisan food producers, organic food producers, all live and work in West Cork. We produce everything from cheese to whiskey, chocolate to stunning smoked salmon, clean, organic, tasting food. We have amazing restaurants dotted throughout the entire of West Cork. Two of our recent restaurants acquired Michelin stars. Each of those restaurants are actually situated in little villages. We have what we call the magic ingredients. That's an area of renowned artists, writers, food creators, wild and wonderful landscapes, islands, maritime activities, stunning walks, excellent gardens, castles, stately homes, and of course, incredible food and stunning seafood. Every year, to celebrate this incredible place, we run a food festival. The second week generally of September, it's called Taste of West Cork Food Festival. This year, it is running from the 6th to the 15th of September. It runs throughout the entire area of West Cork, encompassing all those wonderful towns and villages. In 2018, there were over 250 events, ranging from exclusive dinners in the dining rooms of 300-year-old stately homes to moonlit kayak journeys on beautiful Lough Ine, one of the most important marine habitats in Europe, where, to be honest with you, you will just have one of the most extraordinary experiences of your life, where the phosphorescence drips like diamonds from your paddles as you go foraging, fermenting, and meeting all sorts of famous chefs in the area. We have guest chefs. Last year we had 33 guest chefs from Ireland, Europe, and America. They cook up a storm in the local restaurants. They bring in all sorts of new ideas and they keep things interesting for our guests. This year we're developing a relationship with Australia, and we're hoping to welcome Indigenous Aboriginal chefs from Australia with special highlight on foraging and sustainability this year. Come to West Cork for the Taste of West Cork Food Festival. It really is the Rolls-Royce experience. But if you can't come during September, come any time of the year, because this is an incredible place. Your customers and guests love this place. It is personal, it is special, it is intimate, it's nearly a secret place. A lot of what we would say people in the know around the world love coming to West Cork. We're really sharing that secret with you. We would love to welcome your guests here. We would love to see you in West Cork. And thank you very, very much for listening.
Thank you so much for that overview. That was very interesting, and I'm definitely quite hungry after seeing that presentation.
I'm glad to hear that, Roisin.
Pardon?
I'm glad to hear you're hungry.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I go to West Cork a lot myself, and I do think it is one of the most amazing places to visit. You know, there's a lot of different things happening throughout Ireland, but there's something very special about West Cork, so it's great to see all the different foodie opportunities happening there. So now I'm going to pass you on to Aisling and Liz from the Derry Halloween Festival. So Aisling, if you want to share your screen, that would be great. And the Derry Halloween Festival obviously happens in October, and it is an amazing festival that is very well known, and I'm sure Aisling and Liz will tell you a bit more about it now.
Hi everyone from Derry Halloween. Whilst many destinations celebrate Halloween, any visitor to the city on the 31st of October will tell you that no one does it quite like Derry. The festival was created by the people of the city 33 years ago, and Derry Halloween has established itself as a unique visitor experience in Northern Ireland attracting international visitors from across the world. Halloween has its origins in Irish and Celtic traditions of Samhain, where the boundary of this world and the other, is at its most fragile, and local folklore and legends filled with stories, songs and characters inspired by traditions of Samhain. It's an authentic homegrown festival that has made it onto the bucket list across the globe. So like all good ideas, Derry Halloween started in a pub. In 1985, one publican encouraged his punters to all dress up in costume, and a bomb scare forced the people onto the streets. And once other people had seen the carnival atmosphere and the potential, it showed the true spirit of the Derry people, and Derry Halloween Festival was born. It continued to grow and grow, and for the last 33 years, it has become one of the greatest events in the calendar. Derry Halloween this year takes place from the 25th of October until the 1st of November. It's 8 long days filled with activities from 40 venues, 100 events, 1,400 performers. It creates 10,500 bed nights and attracts 120,000 people onto the streets. We've been officially voted the best Halloween destination in the world by the USA Today, and also the biggest Halloween party in Europe. Derry is ideally located where the Wild Atlantic Way meets the Causeway Coast. We are very lucky to sit along these two coastlines, two of Europe's best road trips. We are located in the northwest, and Derry is a city full of fascinating history and culture. It offers bespoke, fun and quirky activities. It's renowned as one of the finest walled cities in Europe, and this year we are really lucky as it's significant. We celebrate our 400th anniversary of the city walls. We are the only intact walled city in Ireland that have the walls fully intact. Derry is an ideal stopover for international visitors, where they can combine our festival along with other interests such as the Game of Thrones along the Causeway Coast, Star Wars up in Mallinhead and Donegal, as well as our newest claim to fame, Derry Girls. We are very accessible. We're accessible by air, sea, rail, bus and even a broomstick. We have direct air links to the UK, in Scotland and England. We're also only 3 hours away from Dublin, 1.5 hours from Belfast, 3.5 from Galway and about 4 from Shannon.
This is Liz now coming in. I look after the event programming for Derry Halloween. And Derry Halloween, over this past 4 years, the festival has exploded and has doubled in size. And this year in 2018, we welcomed 120,000 people into the city. We're expecting 2019 to be bigger and better. The event is very much owned by the people. It's a series of authentic, interactive events, workshops, installations, and theatrical productions, and there is definitely something for everyone that comes. Some of our highlight events are Awakening the Walls, to celebrate our historic walls for 3 evenings before Halloween or Samhain. The walls around the city and the city centre are illuminated and create a light installation trail around the walls where people can just wander around and see the historic city, and also see light installations, animation, all sorts of creatures, witchery, wonderland, and the best that the city has to offer. On the 31st, we have our world famous Carnival Parade. It's the world's biggest fancy dress party with over 1,000 participants, during 45,000 spectators for a show like no other. Samhain Sessions, Halloween, Samhain in Irish means Halloween, so Samhain Sessions brings the best of Irish music onto the world stage. We also, around the district and Northern Ireland, on the lead into the city, we have a hay bale sculpture trail, where as people are arriving into the city, there's sculptures along the route, and they can stop off and get their picture taken at these various sculptures along the route. The fireworks finale is over the foil. There's a stretch of about 2 kilometres that people gather to watch the fireworks on Halloween night. And as I said, there is something for everyone, from Little Horrors children's programmes, Jack-o'-lantern festival, Spooky Book Festival. We have ghost bus tours, cemetery tours, Halloween origin tours. There's just something for everybody at Halloween here in the city. We have a haunted harvest market. We were designated Destination Delicious, and the food offering in the city is fantastic. So there is plenty for everyone to see and do. We're also a 10-minute drive for Greenan Fort, where history has it that the Red Branch Knights are buried under the fort, and we are 20 minutes from the Causeway Coast, the Giant's Causeway. So we're ideally located for everybody to see the best that we have to offer. As I said, Awakening the Walls is as big as our Halloween night event. Last year we had 70,000 people over 3 evenings, and Awakening the Walls was designed like a battle between dark versus light and the nights before Halloween. The city walls are 400 years old, and as you can see along the walls there's artistic installations and animation the whole way around. We have over 40 installations with fire illumination and theatrical performances, storytelling, telling the history of the city, with some scares along the way. So there's something for everyone.
As Liz has already mentioned, our festival has become extremely successful. It has more than doubled in the last 4 years, and here are a few key stats from last year. So over 120,000 joined us at a festival like no other, and 22% of that were international visitors. It's received record interest from both international and national media, and we had a PR value of 6.4 million last year. The festival is also covered live on TV in both Irish and UK channels, featuring behind the scenes content, carnival parade, live music gigs, and it's all available online as well. We have been recognised. We've received a lot of worldwide recognition over the last few years, and we've already mentioned that we've been voted #1 Halloween destination in the world, highlighted by the New York Times for being one of the top 6 Halloween destinations in the world. Boston Globe, Irish Central, even Forbes magazine last year picked up on Derry Halloween. So all we can say is that hopefully you'll make it next year or this year over to Derry Halloween 2019 and to the biggest and best Halloween party in the world. So we'll be waiting. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that excellent overview. It definitely sounds like a festival not to be missed. And you know, it's very obvious that all of the festivals discussed today really are great opportunities to visit Ireland, and really unique ways to see the country as well. So now I'm going to pass over to Sandra, who's just going to talk about how Tourism Ireland can support you, ensuring that you know you're aware of what's happening and just being able to promote Ireland as a destination.
So hi everybody. I am the Trade and Digital Marketing Executive here with Tourism Ireland, and we have an office based in Toronto. We're open Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. For anybody who is local to the area, pop in, come and say hello. Also, we're available on email or phone for any questions that you have. So we're always here for local market advice. If you need recommendations for suppliers or tour operators, just reach out and we're more than happy to share those with you. We also have promotional literature. So we do have our Market Book Ireland magazine here, which can be very useful to share with clients who are interested in Ireland. And we also issue newsletters and e-zines for you guys. So any product updates, new and exciting things happening in Ireland, we share those typically on a quarterly basis, or if there's something really exciting happening, we'll send out a release to you as well. Some of you have joined us in our workshops and roadshows, so I'm lucky enough to have met a lot of you, and thanks for joining us. We have another roadshow series happening in September, the week of the 10th, 11th, and 12th of September, and this time we're going to be going to London, Ontario, Ottawa, and Montreal. We do try and get out to you guys as much as possible, so if anybody's based in those areas and would like to attend those workshops in September, just let us know and I'll be sure to get an invite to you and the agency. We do also like to offer fam trips to you guys. Nothing beats seeing, hearing, tasting, especially with West Cork Food Festival and things like that happening in Ireland, and the destination. We know it's so much easier for you guys to sell Ireland if you have been there and experienced it yourself. So we do offer fam trips, one a year typically, and the next one is happening likely in October. So if anybody is free and would like to attend and has some potential business for Ireland, be sure again to reach out to us and we'll see what we can do about getting you over there. And then as well, we do sales calls and training seminars. So as well as these webinars, we do try and get out to you guys as much as possible. So if you would like to have a sales call or like us to do a training session with your agency, just again, reach out, let us know, and we'd be more than happy to do that. You have my contact information there on the top left of the screen, so jot it down if you don't have it already, and be sure to keep in touch with us. And over to Roisin. Oh, actually, so I'll keep talking. We have the Ireland Specialist Program as well. So many of you, again, have done this. This is an online training course program. If you go to trade.ireland.com, and I'm going to pop that in the comment box, trade.ireland.com, you can sign up to the Ireland Specialist Program. And what this is a simple online training course that's broken down into various modules. So different specialization sectors, whether it's luxury or adventure or food or festivals. There's lots of different modules there. So you can take your interests, what your clients are most interested in, and you can take a modules course in that. What that gives you then at the end is an Ireland Specialist badge that you can put in your email signature or that you can put on any of your marketing collateral. And that will show to your clients that you are the person to go to. If they're looking at Ireland or even Europe, you know, you are the person to go to because you've completed this specialization program and you really know what you're talking about. So it just gives you a little bit of an edge and also keeps you up to date on all the product offerings that is happening in Ireland.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Sandra. So now I'm just going to talk about all of the different resources that are available for you. We've got some really great videos available on our YouTube channel, and these, I have to say, I know I'm biased, but they're actually really, really nice and a great way to share as well on social. In addition to that, then we also have Ireland's content pool. Again, another great resource for you if you need images of Ireland in particular. And then also we have some great social media channels. So discover Ireland CA and go to Ireland CA. These are Canada specific. So again, really great ways to kind of just make the connection between a Canadian consumer visiting Ireland. And then in addition to that, we have centrally run Instagram and YouTube channels, which again have some really nice user generated content and a lovely way to kind of give your own unique touch on imagery and video. So now we're going to move on to the questions and answers section. If all of the panelists, or I think Dan has them on unmuted, we can see if there's any questions.
That's right. Thank you so much. So I'll just make sure that everyone is unmuted here.
So I just see some questions in the comments there as well. So Dan, I can jump in and start going through those if you like.
Yeah, please do. I see those as well.
Perfect. So I see one from Sherry there. And so I would like to know, if I were to put a group together, what the ultimate number of guests would be, larger or smaller groups. So brilliant question. There is no sweet spot when it comes to numbers. It really does depend on your groups and how they like to travel. So there is a lot of coach tours that offer groups, 50 people plus, but we find, especially if you're going down to the west coast of Ireland and into those smaller areas like, County Clare and along the cliffs of Moher, Ring of Kerry, that type of thing, the smaller coaches can be better just because of the more narrow roads. So usually that would be, 25 to 40 people. So still good numbers, but really the bigger the group, it really depends on the client itself. There's no ultimate number as such. So I hope that answers that question.
And again, to anyone that might want to submit a question, you can submit it to either the chat box or the Q&A box. Either option is fine, and we can answer that question for you.
Perfect. So another question I see there is from Gillian, so related to fam trips. So when do you normally launch your fam trips? We typically issue the information around summer, so probably around June is when we'll have more information on the itinerary and the dates for that. So I'll be sure to share that out with this whole group. And for anyone who's specifically interested or has clients coming to Ireland, we do have an evaluation program for those fam trips. We can only, of course, offer a limited number of spaces on those trips, but I will have more information for you guys around June time.
And we can allow another couple minutes for people to submit any questions that they may have. And I think one has just popped up in the Q&A box here. Jillian asks, where am I able to find the Game of Thrones itineraries?
So the Game of Thrones itineraries are available on our website. So our website is ireland.com. And if you search, there's a search bar on the top right. So if you search Game of Thrones, you will find a lot of Game of Thrones content. So we have day itineraries, we have week-long itineraries, we have a map of all the filming locations, and there is also a Game of Thrones touring exhibition coming to Titanic Belfast in April. And so I believe that's running from April to around October, and that will be in Titanic Belfast. So it's Game of Thrones here with the new season coming out now very shortly. It's the perfect time to go to Ireland and see all the Game of Thrones filming locations.
Wonderful, thank you. And Jillian says thank you as well.
I see lots of questions about music festivals here. So our music festivals on the horizon. There's a music festival around every corner, every day of the year, it feels like, in Ireland. What do you think, Roisin?
Yes, I definitely agree.
So of course, there's Flack na Heron, which Michelle talked about. That's a really incredible festival. I can't stress that enough. It's absolutely brilliant. It's one of the music festivals that nearly every Irish person in the country makes sure to get to. It's a really big deal in Ireland, but we do have a lot of different type of music festivals. There's a lot in Dublin City, especially like most major cities throughout the summer period. There's a lot of summer music festivals, probably one a week. And there is also interesting music festivals, things like Sea Sessions. So Sea Sessions happens on the West Coast, and it's a surf and music festival. And so that's also another really incredible one to watch out for. Again, though, if you pop onto ireland.com and do a search, we have a full events listing on ireland.com, so you can find everything that's happening and the dates available there.
Perfect, thank you. We have another submission to the chat box here. This is from Donna. I've heard there is a theatre festival in Dublin in September. Is it mostly local productions, or do they sometimes have major stars appearing?
It tends to vary, I suppose. Like usually a lot of the theatre festivals would be festivals that were produced locally, so they'd use local talent, but it does depend on the actual theatre festival in itself. We have a lot of really great Irish actors too that are kind of coming up through the ranks if they are not already internationally recognised. So what I would suggest is just maybe researching it in advance to see which festival it is that you're looking at, and that should give you a better idea of who's there that might be famous.
Galway also have an amazing theatre festival on the West Coast as well. So if you don't find what you're looking for in Dublin, check out the Galway Theatre Festival as well. And I think Cork also has one. So there's a lot of theatre and arts festivals happening around the country that would sometimes have big names and then more local stars as well.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I see Lisa asked there as well about craft festivals on the tourism radar. So there is a lot of craft festivals. There is an artistic festival that happens nationally every year, like lots of the Galway Arts Festival, Dublin International Arts Festival. Even in Galway also, they have a quilting festival. So anyone who's into, you know, sewing and knitting and that type of thing, the Quilt Festival in Galway is a bit of a fun one to go to. And there's a lot of places for craft type activities and group tours. For example, Avoca out near Glendalough can be a popular one with tour groups as well.
Could I add something there? Sorry, this is Helen here on A Taste of West Cork.
Sure.
Absolutely, Helen.
We also have a craft element to A Taste of West Cork, because obviously West Cork has a great reputation as a craft making area as well. Jewelers, ceramicists, very, very famous ones live in this area, and artists as well. So we like to incorporate that into A Taste of West Cork. So there are a number of events incorporating craft and learning craft as well. You can come and learn.
Brilliant. And actually, just to add to that then, I know Sandra mentioned Ireland.com, but we actually have a trip idea around craft too. And we also have some other really great content on craft and, you know, what you can do in Ireland in relation to it. So there definitely is a huge craft offering in Ireland. Then I see questions come through from Michael just about a driving holiday in late July. So beach resorts aren't a huge thing in Ireland if you wanted to, you know, stay at a beach resort. However, I would say along the Wild Atlantic Way, there's so many amazing hotels that it's possible to stay in that I couldn't actually think of one off the top of my head. There's just so many options. But again, if you go to Ireland.com and look at the Wild Atlantic Way trip ideas or just the Wild Atlantic Way section in general, we also have an accommodation section on the website, so that'll really help to narrow it down. But when it comes to the actual Wild Atlantic Way experience, all the beaches there, they're so natural and they're just, you know, a complete force of nature. So a really great experience to add, especially in July. I think that's one great thing about Ireland is, you know, the beaches aren't too overcrowded. It's a very nice destination to go just to get away from everything. So that's what makes the beach holiday quite nice. There's a few more questions coming through here. So Debbie said, if she was to go to one festival, which one would you attend and when is it? And I think, again, that's a really hard question to answer. And there's so many amazing festivals that happen in Ireland throughout the year. And the ones that we talked about today are just a sample of them. So I actually couldn't answer that one. But what I would say is that, you know, Ireland is open 365 days a year. I would say that, you know, if you're looking at coming or, you know, you want your client to come, it would definitely be good to look at maybe off-peak times because we do have great festivals happening then, and they're not, you know, they're super accessible, easy to get to. So sorry, that doesn't really answer the question, but I don't think it's possible to give you a festival in particular. But definitely the three we talked about today are good ones to go and visit.
Roisin, could I just answer that in the sense of the answer was given by Sherry. That was the Taste of West Cork. Thank you very, very much for the confidence. Really appreciate it. And I see that the question asks, how long in advance should we book? Our program will be available in June. So, and it'll be online from hopefully early June. So you can book through the program. There'll be over 250 events. And we are on the Wild Atlantic Way, and we were voted recently by Tourism Experience as one of the best experiences on the Wild Atlantic Way. So do please come.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Helen. And sorry, just before we move on to the next question, Debbie, you asked what the YouTube title was. I presume you mean just like what is our actual YouTube channel. So it's Discover Ireland. And as I said, we've got some really great video footage up there that you can share in your social channels, and I definitely recommend doing that as well. Or even if you want to send it through to a client in advance, just to give them an idea of what they can expect when they come to visit Ireland. Let's see. So is there any more questions? If we missed one, maybe just copy and paste it back into the box. It's lots of questions today, which is always good to see.
I don't believe we've missed any so far, but yeah, that is always good to see.
Okay, super. Let me see.
Just
okay, so I think
comments in here. People just said great information and thank you. So thank you, Lisa, and thank you, Debbie.
Well, we will say thank you back. If there's no more questions, I think we'll wrap it up for now. But thank you again to everyone for listening. And a big thank you as well to the people who talked through the festivals that are happening. It's always good to see how many different authentic and immersive experiences are possible in Ireland. So thank you so much for your time. And as Sandra said, if you need any further information or you want to get in touch with us, her contact details are in this presentation. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you very much, Roisin.
Thanks.
Thank you, Roshan.
Thanks, Sandra, and thanks, Dan.
Yeah, thank you, Roshan, and thank you, Sandra, and thank you so much to the other presenters as well. And to all the attendees, I just want to let you all know that if you happen to sign in late, a recording of this webinar will be made available on the Baxter Media YouTube channel tomorrow morning or probably by lunchtime tomorrow. So just go on YouTube and search for Baxter Media and look for our blue and white logo, and you can find the recording of this webinar if you happen to miss part of it. But thank you so much to Sandra Moffat and Roshan Collins and to all the other presenters. It was so great speaking with all of you.
Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.